married for just 2 months when he passed. But in those 2 months, they were closer than any patient and nurse could have been. His degenerative disease moved quickly, making him reliant on her for his care and everything else, and she learned more about life in those few precious daunting months than in her previous years combined. Although she was only 25, she was more mature than her age belied, having seen a lifetime pass before her eyes. Edgar was gone, but she wasn't alone. In his absence, he'd entrusted her to the sizable Amesbury fortune, his dear niece Winifred, and his formidable aunt Tabitha. Of the three, only the last gave her trouble. Amelia's eyes turned upward to the second floor of the library, where the punctuated sounds of Tabitha's cane went tap, tap, tap. Leather-bound histories of the Norman Conquest vibrated gently in the cherrywood bookshelves. Someone had made a blunder, and for once it wasn't Amelia. Her lips twisted into a smile as she imagined the misstep of the butler, or perhaps Tabitha's cherished lady's maid, Patty Addington. No, Tabitha and Mrs. Addington were of one mind. They rarely disagreed. The smile dropped from Amelia's lips as she heard the cane thumping down the steps. 1, 2, 3. Drat! Maybe she had done something wrong, but what? As the stomps grew closer, she understood she was about to find out. She shut the paper and stood from her desk. No one, especially not Tabitha Amesbury, could find out about her secret pseudonym. Only Simon, her best friend Kitty Hampstead, and her editor, Grady Armstrong, knew of her clandestine occupation, and she must keep it that way. With cheap paper and low postage, the magazine was becoming ever more popular, and the advice of Lady Agony was in high demand. Grady said the magazine's circulation was nearing 500,000, and Amelia believed it. She answered letters every day just to keep up with the weekly print, foregoing some letters for others. Costumes, manners, relationships, they covered the bulk of inquiries. But increasingly readers asked about her life. Who was she, and why was a lady, a countess if they knew her real identity, answering letters in a penny weekly? God willing, no one would ever find out. With a hard push, the door flew open, and Tabitha stood like Nike, the goddess of victory. But instead of holding a crown for victory, she brandished a cane. She wore stiff grey, out of respect for her dearly departed nephew Edgar. On her, however, the colour appeared lavender, perhaps because of her crystal blue eyes, for which the Amesburys were known. Her high cheekbones, another familial attribute, were flushed with exertion or irritation. Amelia was about to find out which. "Something is afoot," declared Tabitha. The 3 best words in the English language. With a smile, Amelia met her in the middle of the room. Tabitha dipped her head ever so slightly, but her height was untrimmed. She towered several inches over Amelia. "No, Amelia, they are not the 3 best words in the English language. Winifred is keeping something from me, and I want to know what." Amelia gestured to the green leather couch. Tabitha took the striped chair. "Winifred doesn't keep secrets." Amelia heard the edge in her own words. Although there was no blood relation, she thought of Winifred as her own daughter, and her ire rose like a mother hen's at the accusation. Tabitha crossed her hands over her cane. Whatever weakness her arthritis caused was compensated by a strong upper body and perfect posture. "Correction. Winifred did not used to keep secrets. Winifred is almost 11. Children change." Amelia had noticed some changes of late. Winifred was spending less time in the nursery and taking more interest in the opposite sex, which was to say, tittering whenever she passed the neighbour boy in the street. "Continue," said Amelia, sliding back into the plush leather cushions of the couch. Now that Tabitha had her ear, she leaned into her cane. "Several times I've come across Winifred, and she stops whatever it is she's doing. Hiding something. I cannot make it out." "Maybe it's private." Amelia stressed the word, knowing Tabitha understood no boundaries when it came to family. She was the eldest and most Amesbury